So, should you get this, the OnePlus 8T? Let's take a look. Hey everybody, my name's Aidan, this is Everyday Tech. Before we get going, if you could subscribe to my channel below, that would be great. And if you do get to the end of this video and you do enjoy it, then please consider hitting that like button. Okay, so Black Friday's here, it's like a week long. And I've bought my wife a phone. She's been after one for, well, a while now. She's had her current LG G6 for about, 3 years or so. And it served her very well, but she's looking for something new. She didn't know what she wanted. Me, being knowledgeable in certain areas, suggested OnePlus because I myself use OnePlus. I have got the OnePlus 6T. It served me well. I've had it over 2 years now. I have no plans on upgrading. But she was unsure. She's never used a OnePlus device before. She liked the idea of the LG Velvet or maybe the S20 FE, but the S20 FE was a single SIM. She needs dual SIM for work, so that was instantly discounted. So this popped into my head, and it's only because it's Black Friday that I just bought it, because at the moment you can get the OnePlus 8T for £449 in the UK. And that is an absolute steal. And you can even pay, I think it's £89 a month for 5 months interest free, so you don't have to have a big outlay. And always, if you can, I would suggest always doing interest free. Keep your money in your account making money for you. If you really want to pay for it up front, go for it. But when you're offered interest free without any credit checks, then yeah, why wouldn't you go for it? So in this video, we're going to look at 3 things. Number 1, the battery. And I'm not even going to spend too much time talking about it. I'm just going to talk about it now. Yes, it's got a good battery. It will last you all day, even in 120 Hertz, which I'll get to shortly, because 99% of people aren't massive heavy users. Unless you are a 15-year-old girl, sorry 15-year-old girls, that are constantly on their phones all day long, then yes, it will get you through the day. And that's all that matters from a phone. I don't see the point when people say, oh yeah, it'll get me through a day and a half. Oh yeah, that's great. All you really want to know is, will it get you through to the end of the day? The answer is yes, yes it will. So number 2 is the screen. And yes, the OnePlus 8T does have a fantastic screen, but then so does my OnePlus 6T. But are they really that much different? Again, you're not going to be disappointed with either of them, but side by side you can see a difference. Now, always take side-by-side shots, whether it's camera, screen, scrolling, anything, refresh rate, with a pinch of salt, because there are so many phones out there that are still 60 Hertz, that are still, let's say, IPS panels, that might be Retina display, and they're not, AMOLED or Super AMOLED with some of the Samsung phones, but they still look great. When you put things side by side, yes, some things do look a little. Yes, some things do look a little bit better, but what I like about the OnePlus 8T is it gives more natural colours compared to the OnePlus 6T. And as you can see when you look at some of the high quality YouTube videos, if you just type in YouTube, 4K video, you'll get an idea of the sort of thing that, you can see. Now, looking at these two here, can you tell the difference between the OnePlus 8T and the OnePlus 6T? So looking at both of these phones here, I've actually covered up the notches so you can't tell which one is which. Now, this is a YouTube video if you just type in 4K video. I just use this as an example because it gives good dynamic range, lots of colours, and you can see the contrast of the two phones. But looking at them, which one do you think is the OnePlus 6T? Which one do you think is the OnePlus 8T? Because the top one is bright, and this is where it gets a little bit difficult, because when you're looking through a camera, and you're watching a YouTube video of me recording a mobile phone, you don't get a true reflection of what you can see. You probably think the The top one looks best. And yes, it does look more vivid. But what you probably don't notice is that the bottom one, it's more colour accurate and it shows more detail because the lighter colours aren't blown out as much. So because of that, you can see more detail. You know, if you look at the snake around its mouth where the colours are very bright, you can't see much detail on the top one. And it's the top one, this one here, that's the OnePlus 6T. This is the 8T. They both look great, but the OnePlus 6T, the colours look more vivid. Now, watching it on a video, it's not going to give you the best idea. Obviously, me seeing it in the flesh, it is a bit easier for me to tell. But it is a better thing for the OnePlus 8T that the colours are less saturated, and that is because you actually see more detail in the images. You know, when you're looking at the snakes, the flowers, when it's a bright colour, it's blown out and you lose detail. So the OnePlus 8T wins out on the screen. The screen is fantastic. And yes, it does support 120 Hz, which in my book is neither here nor there. Yes, it's a smooth scrolling experience, but if I see another video with somebody just sat there going, oh yeah, I'm just scrolling up and down, oh look how smooth it is, it makes diddly crap worth a difference. All you want to know is, does it work? Is it good? Yes, you do get a smoother experience, but most people don't look at their phones scrolling really fast through their phone, do they? Really? No. You know, you read articles slowly. Yes, it is a bit smoother, but it's nothing that's really massively noticeable, because don't forget, this is still a 6-inch screen. You know, these aren't massive cinema screens. So yes, it's nice. Yes, it does work, and yes, it's a better screen, but 120 Hz isn't a deal breaker if you haven't got it. Now, number 3 is the camera, because that will be the other thing, well, probably the main thing that people will be concerned about. Has it got a good camera? Yes, it has got a good camera. But how does it compare to my OnePlus 6T? Well, if we take a look at these shots here, you can see that I've taken a shot of my headphones, but they look quite different. And my OnePlus 6T seems to have a bit more focus on the Bluedio logo. Now on the OnePlus 8T, the Bluedio logo looks slightly out of focus and it's letting in a lot more light. They both were on, similar sort of settings. They can't be exact because they are different phones and they are different lenses, so it's not a perfect comparison. But if you look at this other picture here where I take a photo of one of the rooms in my house. Now the reason I chose this is because the sun was coming in and there was a lot of detail on this wall. Now on the OnePlus 6T, the colours are less saturated. On the 8T, it is very much orange, and no matter what I did, I could not get rid of that orange. The only way I was probably going to do that is going into Pro mode and adjusting it, but that's not what I wanted. I just wanted to point and click. When I held the phone down slightly and pointed it nearer to the base of the wall, the colours looked more like the OnePlus 6T. Now, FYI, neither of them produced the exact image that I was seeing on the wall. The OnePlus 6T's image was slightly undersaturated, but the 8T was so oversaturated that it really did give a misrepresentation of what I was looking at. The image quality was more to the 6T. So, but again, it's not the end of the world. Yes, phones like the Samsung S20 will give you, maybe better pictures. But again, for those people that just need it for everyday use, this is going to work. This is going to do really well. And night photos are taken really well on this as well. I've got to here again on my 6T and on my 8T. Both took really good pictures. Now, again, I chose an open gin bag because it was next to me. As you can see on the 6T, the orange line is quite saturated, it pops out. And on the 8T, the actual image looks a lot better. The orange doesn't pop out as much, it's not as saturated, there's a little bit more detail. But the difference is you get a wider field of view with the 8T, which I think is just a little bit nicer. Also, I do think that the night mode on the 8T is a little bit quicker to respond than, let's say, on the 6T. I don't know how it would compare on other devices. This isn't going to have the best camera. It's got a great camera and it's got a great screen and battery life. But what is the biggest selling point of this phone compared to every other? Go for it. Have a guess. Yep, you've probably guessed it. It's the price. I've picked this up for £449. Absolute bargain. And for something that is so well-rounded, with a great screen, great battery life and great camera, and that is very customizable because OnePlus are known for their user interfaces to be super customizable, why wouldn't you get it? Yes, if you have the OnePlus 6T, unless you need a upgrade, stick with this. Mine's working fine. Until it breaks or until it becomes unbearably slow, I'm just going to stick with this. But my wife does need a new phone, and the OnePlus 8T is my recommendation because I did buy it. I did, and this is not a review sample that I'm going to send back. This is something we're keeping. But one thing I didn't like is that it does come with a plastic case, and I'll show you. You know, a case protector. Now I've got to get this box open. So difficult. And I just thought I'd mention it while I'm here because the screen protector is really nice. It's really clear. But then they spoil it by putting the Never Settle logo across the bottom. And you can't see it, can you? Because it's... Can you see? And I just want it to be plain. Because they actually make really good cases for their phones. They go in really well. They fit nicely. I mean, look at that. You can still see the colour. I mean, the Never Settle logo's not sticking out. But they make great cases. I've been rocking my OnePlus 6T case for a while now. Since I've had it, it is fantastic. I've never had to use anything else. And that's another reason why you'd be happy with this phone. It comes with a protective case that actually works. So, guys, did you find this useful? I hope you did. Hit that like button if you did. And if you didn't, double tap that dislike button. And guys, I will leave a link in the description below of where you can get this on Black Friday or at Amazon. And if you're watching this after Black Friday, it would just be a normal Amazon link. And I may earn a commission, you know, if you do click on it. But the links will be in the description. And guys, I shall see you next time. Bye.